Hi there, welcome to TDCat Tech and this unboxing and first impressions, and I'll do a quick audio test as well of the Rode Wireless Go compact wireless microphone system. I know some of you might have dropped across this video just wanting an audio test, and if that's the case, please just skip to this time code now. I appreciate not everybody wants me talking and probably don't even want an unboxing because this is pretty straightforward what's in the box here. You can see on the back of here what's in the box. But we'll do it anyway, and I will just do a little bit of talking. So as I say, if you want to jump to that time code to hear how these sound, then do that if you wish. So this is the Wireless Go system. There's been a couple of these released recently. There's the one from Sennheiser that uses the 2.4 gigahertz, and there's also now this one from Rode that uses 2.4 gigahertz 1 to 8-bit encrypted, so digital transmission between the two, which is different than the mic I'm currently using. So when I do these unboxing videos, I use a Sennheiser pack, which I'll just get out my pocket now so you can see exactly which one it is. It's just one of these, the EW100, well this is G3 actually, G4's out now, but yeah, so I just use one of these when I'm recording my videos, but these are analog. These transmit in the clear, I think, as far as I know, on, well, at the moment on 622 megahertz. And these, of course, are license-free, and they transmit on 2.4 gigahertz. To me, that might be a problem because I find 2.4 gigahertz range to be considerably worse than the lav packs that I use. I mean, the lav packs are amazing, but they're just designed for a simple camera, camera to user operation, not necessarily any kind of long distance work as you might with a lav. Let me get inside here now. Let me just slice this here. Is it just the one? I think it is just the one. What I love about Rode is they take a problem and they find a solution for it. Now that sounds pretty obvious, but not all companies do that. A lot of companies kind of stick with the norm. Rode kind of say, right, what do people need? And do we have to kind of think a bit outside the box and come up with something a bit different for it? They did it with the VideoMic Pros. They almost made a market for that bloody thing. It wasn't like everybody prior to that was buying microphones to do YouTube stuff. They sort of made a market and said, right, we're going to do a really good range of video mics, really lightweight, pretty good quality, well, fairly good quality, and go, just make them, just try and do something a bit different. That's what I like about Rode, because they just seem to think a little bit differently. So here's our Quickstart guide in here, how to use it, and there are the two devices, incredibly small things, aren't they? That one's got the clip on it. Okay, so they almost come as a retail package thing. So here's that's the receiver. Sorry, the transmitter. There. Let me just zoom in nice and close so you can get a good look at it. So there's our metal mesh on the microphone on top, and presumably that's power. You've also got your input here for a standard microphone with a 3.5mm jack if you want to. You don't have to use this one, but the idea with these things is, of course, that you just clip this onto your body. And a lot of people have said, well, it looks a bit stupid with this whole thing sort of clipped on your body, but I think the idea is partially, and as it actually shows on the side of the box here, that you can clip it the other way so that most of the box is inside your shirt. I think that would work well. And then on this side we have the receiver, which goes into, assume there's an output on here somewhere. There we go. There's our 3.5mm output, and there's our USB-C charging. And let's just peel that off. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? Look how shiny that is. Wow. Let's peel this one off as well. Wonderful. Yeah, so these are a little heavier actually than I imagined them to be. I thought they'd be incredibly lightweight, really stupidly lightweight. They've got a bit more weight to them than I expected, but they're certainly not heavy. Certainly not a problem, I wouldn't say. Made in Australia, of course, as most Rode stuff is. And So this is the receiver, and apparently this has a way in which it clips on the hot shoe. I'm not sure how that's done. So we have a USB-C cable for that one, for the transmitter, a USB-C cable for the receiver. So you get one for each, so you can charge them both at the same time. And obviously charging over USB is a godsend. Anything that can be charged over USB is great. These apparently have a 7-hour battery life, and people who have reviewed them so far that I've seen say that it certainly is 7 hours, and they've definitely had no problems getting through a whole day. That's really important, and just being able to chuck them on a power bank or just on a USB charger, or is absolutely great. So there we go. Are they even these even? Yeah, and look at that. They're even road branded USB cables. Doesn't that inspire confidence? Should be really for the money. And there's the cable that they hook up to the camera with. Now I bought, as well as this pack, I bought one of these. This is the VXLR Plus. So this is really just an XLR to 3.5mm adapter, but it does also carry plug-in power. It converts phantom power to plug-in power. So if you've got phantom power coming out of here, you can get plug-in power out of here, which is more sort of commonly used via the 3.5mm jack. So that's what I'm going to be using if I use these on the main camera I'm using now. I mean, I do have one of these. I think one of these inputs, but I've never used it, I must admit. So nice. These are nice little coiled cables. Decent to have a coiled one. Sometimes can be really handy. And then we get 2 wind protectors, because that's obviously a concern, isn't it? This element here, this microphone element, is incredibly exposed. There's the tiniest bit of wind is going to get that. So I don't know how. Not quite sure how these fit on. Do they just clip on there? Like they just clip on like that or something? I think. Yeah, it looks like they'll come off really easily. I don't know how effective they'd be, but they do have. Yeah, there's a nice little. This here is a rubber seal. So that little bit there is rubber, and then we've got this sort of section here where it just kind of clamps on between the two and clips in place. So I just have to test it really to see whether it provided any wind protection. I'll do that in a separate video. I'm not going to do that now. And yeah, you get a spare one of those, so I'm assuming they think they're going to break. And then this little pouch. Let's just zoom out a sec. Then this little pouch, you can put them both in, which is, do they both fit in there? No, they don't. How do they both fit in there? Are they meant to both fit in there? Yeah, they do. There we go. Fine. So you can take them both in this little pouch. I hate these things. A lot of people say, "Oh, this is nice," and when they get them, and I'd never use something like this. It's just a bit, I don't know. I just hate this material. It makes me shiver when I handle this type of material. I always feel a bit cheap. I mean, give me a nice leather, sort of decent leather case, fair enough. Then I'd use it. But just these things are horrible. But anyway, it's there if you like it and if you need it. It adds that sort of extra protection and sort of premium quality. And there's your safety information, and there we go. That's what we get in the box with the Wireless Go system. Nice. Okay, good. So let's power up one of these, and let's see what it does. Let's just zoom in again. In fact, we're going to power up this one. How do we power this up? Do we just press the button at the top? Yeah, we do. There we go. Cool. So that one, it looks like this is searching at the moment for this this other one, which I will also power up. There we go. And you can see there, the second I've turned that other one on, we now have, yep, we have audio coming through, and that screen is lovely and clear. That's much better than I thought it would be. Yep, really simple. Just turn the two on. Bang, you're good to go. So these are designed definitely for simplicity, but how do they fare quality-wise? Well, this the mic I'm using at the moment, I think, is the Sennheiser ME-2 lav mic, and as you've just seen the pack that I'm using that with. The mic I usually use on my videos if I'm sat talking to camera is the Rode NTG3, but how do they compare to this mic that I'm using now? Well, let's switch over, fit this to the camera, and have a listen. I'm now talking on the Wireless Go microphone, so can you tell the difference between the two? I'll plug the Sennheiser one back in a second, but plug the mic directly into the Rode transmitter. So I'm just flicking through the specs here for the sake of it. The levels seem a little bit hot into the receiver, but as far as actually what goes out of the receiver into the camera, there is a 3 setting adjustment. You just press the dB button on the back and it just sort of does it in 3 steps as far as level is concerned. I've got it on the lowest setting, but the levels going into the receiver do seem a little bit hot. I'm not sure whether they're controlled by any kind of AGC, so an automatic gain control. I just don't know whether that's how it works. It'd be a bit of a shame if that was how it worked, because I think people would maybe want some degree of manual control. I don't know whether they are just no, I really don't know. There must be a way of controlling that level, because obviously depending on how close I get to the mic, my level's going to change entirely. Anyway, I hope that's not something that lets these down, that they've got like AGC on the mic. That'd be awful. So anyway, let me take it off my t-shirt here. I've just got it. I tried to put it in roughly the same place as I do my my Sennheiser one. But there you go. That's the mic as it is at the moment. And this is recording at the moment too, I think. It should be. It should be. Is that recording? Is that the mic that's recording? Yes, I think so. Yeah, good. All right, so let's try plugging in my well-used and battered Sennheiser mic into here. I'll do that while it's rolling just to see how it sounds. So there we go. We've got an external mic plugged in. Now, levels are seem to be much lower on that microphone, and I'll probably have to increase the dB level on the back of it on the thing itself. So let me just bump that up. Let me bump that up a step or two. There we are. So I'm now talking into the Sennheiser mic. This is the external mic. And yeah, I mean, just so simple to set up. They really are. And then I'll switch back to the Rode mic itself. And reduce that level back down again. There we are. So that's on the Rode mic, speaking in pretty much the same place as I was with the Sennheiser. And well, I don't know what they sound like. I haven't tried it yet. So make up your own mind. Let me know in the comments what you think. This is an unboxing and just first impressions of the Rode Wireless Go microphone system. Well, I was just going to leave this one open and not do any kind of observations after hearing the audio, but I've just been sort of partway through editing the video and had to listen to it. And just a couple of initial thoughts. It's a little bit thin sounding, and that's something I noticed with the Video Mic Pro Plus as well. I did a video testing that a couple of months back, and I maybe unfairly compared it to the NTG3, and it just sounded a bit thin. Now, thin versus a rich sound, I'm not sure whether that's something you can fix in EQ. You can probably to a point, but you're never going to get back, you know, a really full sound versus something that just sounds a little bit, yeah, thin is the only word I can think of, really. So they do sound okay. They're clear, and there's little noise on them. However, regarding the AGC side of things, so the automatic gain control, it does sound like there is some sort of automatic gain control, because if you listen to the very start of the audio test where it flicks to the screen where I'm holding my phone to the camera, you can hear a quiet whine in the background, like a high-pitched whine. The second I start talking, that drops down, and that suggests, unfortunately, that these use an AGC, which is a real disappointment. So a very, very handy set. They sound much better when you plug in that microphone. And so as far as a transmitter and receiver go, really, really handy. As far as the actual mic on board, not so sure. And AGC side, well, hopefully I don't know, there might be a way to disable that I just haven't found, read the manual yet, and I haven't looked at any kind of firmware changes or any button combinations or anything like that, so hopefully there's a way of changing that. But yeah, just some initial thoughts. Not amazing, very, very handy, very convenient transmitter and receiver, but as far as audio quality of the device itself goes, not that impressed so far.